Good evening. As we get started here, I need to take a couple minutes here for one of our young fellows that made his own shakiet. We have to formally put that on him. And Chuck Miller is, he'll introduce himself. We'll do the honors. Chuck Miller will tell you about the ceremony right now.
Gunachi shanyat kusani hachi ade yakana yak yade yitutini dana khilsek yukhatu wasak Chuck Miller yukhatu wasak lekak ainach yasa awet tujid watuati akhish kan kik akhish sai awe kan kik dekina ani takhka awe shakhat kiyedu wasak akhla luknak shakhsiti Chukanedi da chrank usiti. Kayashka hitan ayachat. Kagwantan da chran ayachat. My name in Tlingit is Dana Chiltzek. I was named after my great uncle, whose English name was Charlie Dick. I am a Raven Koho. I am the great grandchild of the Chukanedi, the Eagle Bear clan. My great grandfather was David Davis the First. And I'm honored to be up here standing talking to you right now. It gives me great pleasure and honor to present this headdress to this very fine young student of mine who has learned from everyone that he is around. And my other auntie, Jessie Johnny, who could not be here, asked me to do this honor of placing the headdress on this young man. He is of the Chukanedi clan, and he uses the porpoise as his design, as you can see here on the headdress. He made this himself. He put a lot of effort into it. A lot of different people have helped him. And I would like to place this on his head. It's not going to be me that's putting it on him. It's my uncle, Ankadachtsin, Albert Davis. Gunalchish.
He did that headdress himself. He's been working really hard on it. So I think you need to give him a really big applause on that one. These are the Shikakwan dancers. We had a lot of handouts. I think you pretty much know who we are. Alcohol, drug-free dance group, and we've been working for a long time. I'm really appreciative of all the young people that are part of this group. Without any further ado, they'll be doing a coming-in song, Kawut, by Rudolph Walton, the Kicksadi Man.
As my grandmother told you, the song which we entered on was called Kawut Kashiye, and it was written by my great uncle, Rudolph Walton. And we don't tell the story behind it because we've heard a couple of different stories. But what we do know about him was that he was a Tlingitlain among the Kiksadi, and he also received a Western education, and for a time had decided that it was time to try to become more like the Western man so that we could learn to survive in the Western world. And at some point, again, there was a change of heart by him. It is a Kiksadi song. The first dance song, which we'll do for you, is called Katan, and it belongs to the Kagwantan clan. And we thank them for letting us use our grandfather's song. Particularly, we thank Herman Kitka for giving us permission to use it. Katan, belonging to the Kagwantan.
If Irene Jimmy is out there, I'd like her to come up and join the elders here on the stage. Is she here? Irene Jimmy? At this time, I'd like to thank the Sealaska Heritage Foundation for having this event. It's been really great. I've enjoyed the dance groups that I was able to attend. I'm one of these strange Slinkets that can't speak the language. I can say, ich weiß nicht, was soll es bedeuten, dass ich so traurig bin. And that's German, okay? I took that in college. But I can't speak my own language, and I know that Dick Dauenhauer said he didn't know that he there was a Tlingit here that speaks the German language. We'd like to acknowledge, we did some handouts, so you know what our group is: alcohol, drug-free. We're pledged to that, and we know what a horrible problem has been for us, the deaths and everything that has happened to our people. One of the things we're struggling with right now is the time element that are running back to back. There are some of the people had to take off for the New Plain dancing. We had some of their dancers here. At this time, I would like to acknowledge Sealaska, gave our group $2,000. Sitka Tribe of Alaska, $250. Fred Beltran made us a miniature bentwood box for a raffle that we had. Jennifer Brady Morales made a drum with the Raven Eagle on it. Faye Court made a necklace, a miniature basket with earrings to match, and Judy Lindoff made a fully beaded raven. And so, and Dostar and Christine Sam made the beautiful banner that you saw. They just took off with that and has the Shitka Kwan dancers on there. And I'd like to tell you that we are very short on elders. I realize that I am an elder, but I'm not a good one because I don't speak Tlingit, right? Anyway, that's beside the point. I didn't have my slippers yesterday, and I said, well, I'll be a 20th century grandmother and wear my tennis shoes. So that's what I did. I didn't know what else to do because I didn't have time to get it. And we're also computerized. We put those programs out for you so you could know what we are all about. So at this time, I'd like for us to introduce our elders that we have here on the stage. I'd like to thank them very much. The reason they're up here is because they have a child, a grandchild, or maybe a great-grandchild here. And I'd like for Grace Larson to introduce her mother. Grace? There's a mic down there that you can use, Grace, okay? Could someone wheel her mom
Shelley,
up?
Tony, Cheyenne, could you bring out Grandma?
Oh, okay.
You thought you'd get out of this one. Well, they're bringing out my mother. I'd like to thank Isabel and the group for acknowledging her as one of the elders. When I was asked to do this, I swallowed my gum. I told them I didn't get my hair done. I said I didn't have a blanket. I just can't get out of this one. Because I know I'll be on the same ferry and I'll never hear the end of it. This is my mother. Her tribal is Takwanadi. And it's the strong man fighting the sea lion. Her Tlingit name is Kafshkat. Her white man name is Queenie Elizabeth Katas. And her grandchildren is Shelley, Tony, Cheyenne Beltran. And her husband had artist all these here blankets and vests. And my mother is very honored to wear the bag. It's an octopus bag by Karen Connie, sorry. And thank you for acknowledging.
And I'm going to ask my daughter, Judy Lindoff, to introduce Nancy Littlefield. Alice and her son Chad had to run up to the other place because they're dancing there too. So Judy, could someone bring Nancy out, please?
This is Nancy Littlefield. She belongs to the Ganach Tedi clan, and her Tlingit name is Shag Iku.
Thank you, Nancy, for being willing to be up here with us and to give us some support for our dance group. We really appreciate it. Gwynolchish, and it's Alice Titel and her son Chad that are part of the group, and we're really happy that she's here with us. Gwynolchish. And I'll call on David Sam to introduce his mother at this time and his family.
I'd like my daughter Jean Sam to step out front. My niece, Ruby Murphy. My nephew, Larry Young. And my mother, Bessie Kitka, is clean AD and has just recently moved back here to our home country, if you will, back to Juneau here. Bessie Kitka, Constrish. Nawan Kla.
I'd like for Pat Roberts Alexander to introduce her mother, Harriet Roberts, and Harriet will say a few words to you as well. Pat? This is the Social Services Director for the Sitka Tribe of Alaska, recently moved back. Pat?
Good evening. My name is Patricia Roberts Alexander, and my Tlingit name is Kakaslatsin. I'm Duckdane Tan. This is my mother. Her name is Stan Ott. Her English name is Harriet Roberts. I'm very, very proud of her, and I'm happy that Isabel has asked her to be with us today. My father was Lester Roberts from Kawak. This is my mother.
Yede kuga. Gana chish. Yi in khadosati yi yakhana. Anyat ke. Khana khwa akhana in ya. Awtuane. Oye khana ye hawtiya. Gana chish ya pakha. Akhtas ku adusach ish sakiyeto. Ach ish sai. John George Fawcett. Ach takwa. How the sky is Agan. Lily Brown Fawcett. Thank you again, Isabel, for inviting me. Thank you.
Gwynolchish, thank you.
Ye di kuk ayuchat dua sak kix adichat city. Kahat josh ayuha dua sak tekwe di yadi ayachat kahit dachat city. At this time, I'd like to take a few moments to acknowledge some elders. I'd like to begin by acknowledging my grandmother, Isabella Brady, from whom I take my Tlingit name, Yedi Kuk-a. She, along with my mother, have done so much for this dance group. In fact, they coordinated it and brought us all together. And often that doesn't get acknowledged. Also, she started the Sitka Native Education Program in Sitka. And without that, I don't know how long it would have taken us to begin learning more from our elders again after that time when we had stopped learning so much about our culture. If we could have the family of Isabella just step forward, please. Anyone who's related, children, grandchildren, and also extended family, adopted family, step forward. Okay. What she's done for this group really means a lot to us, and it means a lot to have our elders over on the other side of our stage supporting us, and all of you in the audience who have come to see us dance. We say Gunashchish. Also at this time, I would like to acknowledge a few elders who have gone on before us. In the past year, we have lost two of our Kiksadi women, Esther Littlefield and Mary Perkins. I would also at this time acknowledge my late grandfather, Bill Brady, who, before he died, was our group's biggest cheerleader and supporter, as well as Kotlat Charlie Joseph Sr., who didn't have a hand directly in our dance group, but he was the elder who probably came forward the most in Sitka to teach us the songs that we're able to present to you now. Gunashchish.
Thank you, Yedi Kuka. I'd like to say a couple words here. The first elder conference that was held in Sitka, I attended that, as did Kashlat, and he put himself on the line and said this: because you are my grandchildren, we cherish you. There's a book that's put out by the Sealaska Heritage Foundation. When all the elders were there, he said, this is what I have done. And you can either correct me or approve it, because he taught all the children the different clan songs and also the very old and treasured songs of our people. And the elders were amazed at how the young people could sing and dance these songs. They said, these are very precious. It's like opening a very special box. You have opened this, and these young people need to be covered. So what they did was they gave special speeches to cover them so the spirits wouldn't bother them. They also said this: the time has come now when we must share our songs and our dances, otherwise they are going to die. And there were many, many speeches that were given by many elders who have gone on. If we are going to keep on with our dances and our songs, we have to share them. And this is what he would say: these are my grandchildren, and you have the right to learn these songs and these dances. If we hold them too close, they are going to die. I say that Kafat was a man before his time, because he's the only one of the few people that said what he was going to do, and he did it. He shared the songs, he shared the dances with us. There wasn't anyone to follow when he was helping us in Sitka. As a result, what happened? You have the Kagwantan dancers, you have the Nutlain dancers, you have the Kajahin dancers, and you have this group as a result of the work that he did. He was not afraid to put himself on the line and say, yes, it is time for us to do it this way. And I really appreciated those words that Nora and Dick Dauenhauer wrote that book and explained all of the speeches that were given at that time. I just want to acknowledge that at this time, because I know that there's no way on God's earth that we would be able to be doing all of these songs and these dances that we were so privileged to have Charlie Joseph teach us. So I just remember very fondly. Okay, the next song that we'll be doing is Shkawasyesh. It's a Kiksadi song, and we're doing something that we haven't done before. I'll hold my breath and we'll hope it works out. It'll be the introduction of our dancers as we sing this song. Shkawasyesh.
Pat Alexander, Raven, Akdainton, Kot Katlatsin. Kimberly Anderson, Yupik Apala. Amy Bain, adopted Raven, Kikseti, Kachkaduat. Shelley Beltran, Eagle, Tsagwedi, Yonda Yane. Tony Beltran, Eagle, Tsagwedi, Kuskin. Dion Brady Howard, Raven, Kikseti, Yedi Kuka. Isabella Brady, Raven, Kikseti, Yedi Kuka. Ruth Carpenter, Raven, Kikseti. Nancy Eddie Douglas, Eagle, Yanyedi, Shuk'e. Eileen Gallagher, Raven, Kikseti, Skawan. Ricky Joe Goodall, Raven, Kikseti, Akutatin. Jackie Hotch, Northern Arapaho, Raven, Chasnich. Whitney Jibo, Northern Arapaho, Raven. Peter Karras, Eagle, Ducklawady, Keat Woo. Dwayne Lindoff, Raven, Kikseti, Yauk. Nicole Lindoff, Raven, Kikseti, Schawan. Jennifer Brady Morales, Raven, Kikseti, Tanuk. Ruby Murphy, Raven, Dog Salmon, Daku Kach. Beth Otness, Eagle, Niska. Casey Otness, Eagle, Niska. Noreen Otness, Eagle, Niska. House of the Killerwell, Lubite Ata. Jessica Paul, Eagle, Nanya E, Atuk Tla. Dallas Peavy, Raven, Uknachadi, Guasta. Tommy Rooney, Eagle, Huazinedi, Khasiya. Jean Sam, Eagle Killer Whale. David Sam, Raven, Klinedi, Kugan. Nancy Welcome, Raven, Kikseti. E.J. Williams, Eagle, Chukanadi, Shak Larry Young, Raven, Dog, Salmon, Ashow. Doug Gray, Akdaintan, Shkina. Eric Moriski, Deshitan, Tachiyech. Jane DeAngeli, Niska. Willie Jackson, Taekwe A1. Virginia Rooney, Hua Sinadi, Juan Plain. Judy Lindoff, Raven, Kiksadi, Kash Kaduat.
Sheesh. I'll call on David Sam. He has a presentation to make at this time. David?
Sheesh. Again, I am Kugan Kline D, and this is my daughter. And over the years, along with watching my own daughter grow and learn right along with me, I was watching some of the other young dancers from Gajahin who have experienced something that was happening less and less when I was growing up. And I wanted to give thanks again to Isabel for the work that she did with the Sitka Native Education Program, and had been with the program 14 years, I believe. 17 years, excuse me. 17 years with the Sitka Native Education Program. And I've watched these young men doing some things that need to be acknowledged. And I asked my daughter to present these staffs to a couple young men. And I'd like to ask Dallas and Larry Young to step forward. I wanted to present a couple staffs just to show a little bit of appreciation as part of my family. Dallas is, I guess, a second cousin, and Larry is my nephew. But I wanted to give thanks by offering to them a couple dance staffs to show my appreciation for learning as much as they have and showing our family, you know, my mother, their grandmother, some of what we've been trying to learn and relearn, and hopefully we can see many other young men standing up for who they are. Standing up because we need to stand up for ourselves and protect our people that are born into this way of life. And we need to protect each other and stand up for each other. And we are alcohol and drug free, but I wanted to present the staffs to them to show our appreciation. One, as a people, but for me, as a male, Tlingit male, I just wanted to give thanks to some of these young men here. And hopefully, with you witnessing, that would put your good thoughts, your good energy into the staffs, and that we don't mean harm to Mother Earth when we use these staffs, because we always apologize for this. But I just wanted to show these men how important it is to stand up for each other. From the streets.
I'd like Peter Karras Jr. to step out in the front here. His mother gave him this beautiful dance shirt, and I don't know whose hat he has on there, but we really appreciate Peter's recently joined our dance group. Thank you, Peter. And now we'll do the old Sitka song, and that's a Chukanady song, and it's a real live. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this old Sitka song.
Ni
We will be doing our exit song next. I'd like to say a few words about it. I think it was about 4 or 6 years ago. Matthew Fred from Angoon took a couple of us aside and taught us the song which we're going to do. But he said that it wasn't his to give, and so that if we could get permission, that we would be able to use it. It is called Dux Awedi Nes Wuat Ashiyi, and you'll find that a lot of the Sitka groups use it now because as those few of us who liked it, it became contagious and everybody did. And we were given permission by the late Judson Brown very generously to use this song. And so we'd like to acknowledge that permission which was given at this time. And if Janice is here, oh, I see her. I'd like for her to stand up and also come up here and dance with us as we exit. Hago. She didn't know we were going to do that to her. I believe there are a couple of other people who my grandmother would like to surprise and ask to come exit with us.
I'd like to call on Kim and Rosita to join us in this going out song. How good? Kim is the grand president of ANS. And I'd like to say a little bit about my staff. Fred Hope made this for me. And he said one time we thought of Isabella as a gal who went away to school and went to college. Now we think of her as a leader of our people. That's a real honor. So this is why I have this staff. And you've been a great audience. We thank you, and you can enjoy our going out, I hope. Thank you.